Hey guys, Epengu here on day 2 of Shine 2017 with Immortals Shroomed, Dewan,
What's up, guys?
who has just finished his round 2 pools into top 96 winner's side. Dewan, how you feeling about your bracket ahead?
I'm feeling really good about it. I have hugs into Mewtwo King, so those aren't very bad matchups for me, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, you said not bad matchups. For Mewtwo King, that's could go many different ways because you actually both play the same two characters. What do you think it's going to end up being?
I think it's going to be Sheik dittos. Generally, he plays Sheik against Sheik, unless there's chain grabs. So we don't chain grab each other, so I'm pretty sure we're going to Sheik ditto.
Okay. You have a good history against M2K, somewhat. You have a few wins over him at Pacific Northwest, at Apex that one time. Yep. Yeah. What's the deal with no chain grabbing, Dewan? Why are you so anti-chain grabbing?
I don't like the Sheik chain grab, mainly because it makes the matchup very polarizing. It kind of just reduces the interactions down to who can get the grab first, and I don't really enjoy that way of playing. If I absolutely had to do it, I would, but if I can avoid it, I will.
Now, your Marth is a fairly, well, no, it's not a new creation. I've seen you losing to Zach with it for like the last 2 years. But but in terms of it taking names, which it has done recently, it's a fairly new thing that you've adapted. Certain people think Marth is actually a good matchup against Sheik. Do you think that's true at all, and you're just waiting to develop it more, or do you feel the other way?
I would say at the highest level, Marth has an advantage over Sheik, mainly because of his massive range. He is really good at not getting hit and just zoning Sheik out for as long as he can. So I think it's close to even, maybe slight Marth favor at the highest levels.
So then is the reason that you're not going to be playing Marth versus Sheik just a preference thing, or what is it?
It's more that if I'm going to run into the chain grabs, then I'd rather just go Marth because it's not a bad matchup with Marth. But if there aren't going to be chain grabs, I'm willing to do the Sheik ditto.
That makes sense. Okay. Well, so tell me a bit about your Marth in general, too, because one of the things that you've been using it for pretty notably is that it's sort of turned into an Icy's Slayer. You had that sick run where you destroyed Chudat and Nintendude. How do you beat Icy's with Marth so well?
So I just realized that Sheik versus Icy's is really stressful, and it's just as polarizing as the Sheik ditto, if not more. So I started playing Marth. I was watching PPU play Nintendude at the Foundry, and he was doing really, really well against him. And so I kind of studied his videos for a little while and figured out that Marth's zoning is ridiculously strong against the Ice Climbers. So I kind of just decided that's the matchup I'm going to go with against Icy's, and I really grinded it out for a little while, and I feel like I have mastery over it right now.
Your Marth has also done some things like almost beating Leffen, though. So do you think that for you, M2K basically just switches between Marth and Sheik depending on the stage, and he has it all planned out. He'll deviate it from it sometimes. But for you, it seems like more of a feeling thing. Do you think that's accurate?
Yes, I don't really have a hard commit on what character I'm going to play before I enter a set. And just as the set progresses, I've kind of feel out, I feel like I should go Marth against this guy or Sheik. So there's not really a set matchup that I play the characters in, but I guess if anything, I go Marth against Fox more often than Sheik now.
I asked Tafo about this earlier, but it sort of seems like we're seeing a lot of top players start to pick up a secondary, sometimes even pick up a tertiary if we're talking about Plup, who has a trio of and M2K. Do you think that as the game moves forwards, more and more top players will start to pick up secondaries, or do you think that it's still possible to do it as a solo main?
I think it's still possible to do it as a solo main, but it just makes it a lot easier when you can have a strong counter pick against someone. For instance, Fox players getting taken to FD by Marth, they should have a counter pick ready. It's possible with Fox. It's definitely doable, but it's just easier to pick a different character and try that out. So I think secondaries and tertiaries will be more and more common as the meta progresses.
Is there any chance we'll ever see your Marth in doubles? I mean, you just talked about taking inspiration for it from Kevin, and he's obviously the best doubles Marth in the world. Is that a chance at all?
Yeah, SCJ and I have been talking about it, mainly against teams like Double Fox or even Fox Falco sometimes. So you should definitely be on the lookout for my Marthan teams. That's definitely on the way.
Okay, now you have a reputation, somewhat unfairly I would say, of maybe not having the best work ethic. Sometimes people think that. Why do you think that is? What's going on there?
I can say I don't want to disagree with people because like my work ethic could be better, but I guess you could say that about everyone, right?
Yeah.
But I want to say when I'm kind of stressing about Melee, I play much worse than when, and I feel like if I'm just in my room grinding all the time, then I'll just be stressed when I play, and that just makes me worse at the game. I would consider myself more of a emotional player than intellectual player. I kind of just feel the game. So if I'm not, feeling good about the game because I've been practicing something for 10 hours and I still can't really do it, then it just kind of gets me down and makes me play worse. But with that said, obviously, my work ethic could be higher, and it's just I got a lot on my plate sometimes, and Melee is rough. The game is tough. It takes a lot of time and dedication, which I do want to commit. So I'm still trying to get better. I mean, people may not think I have a really strong work ethic, but I didn't get here, not doing shit. So.
That's sort of, that reminds me of what Mango says. Mango, after he wins a tournament, he always talks to his subs. He's like, you guys told me I don't practice enough. You're so dumb. I just got to play other video games. I just can't practice all the time. Do you think playing other video games helps you with Melee in any concrete way other than taking a break from the game?
Absolutely, actually. When I was first getting good at the game, I would play a bunch of flash games on my phone, or I would play games that would take reaction speed or things like that, or precision, and I would just play games like that in my downtime just to train that particular skill. So I think there is value in playing other games. Also, to just take a break and, kind of cool down and not overwork yourself.
Okay, well, you said reaction speed. One of the things that is a hallmark of your gameplay is that you do not reaction tech chase nearly as much as other Sheiks. Is that the same sort of thing as chain grabbing, or is it something else that's going on there?
I would say I don't think I'm good at tech chasing because it takes, there's just a moment where you have to just stop and do nothing. And I think I don't really excel at that. I'm an aggro, aggressive. I like to try to go as fast as possible, I would say. And tech chasing, you have to be very, very calm and cool and collected. And I am at times, but for the most part, I'm more of a, I want to just combo you as fast as possible.
Do you think that's influenced your Marth as well? Because I know for a long time, and somewhat still, you actually counterpick foxes to Battlefield as opposed to Final Destination sometimes. Is that the same motivation there?
Yeah, I would say my Marth is not the best chain grabber, and I feel like FD is worthless if you can't, 0 to death chain grab. I think it's actually worse for Marth if you can't do that. So I kind of just think Marth is better than Sheik for me against Fox because I like the combo style instead of the tech chase style. So that's much more easier to convert on Marth as opposed to Sheik.
Is there any room for you to go into those things that, like, are you ever going to start chain grabbing? Are you ever going to start tech chasing? Or do you think you can do it with your style?
I am a very sore loser, so the fact that, I'm still losing some of these situations, it kind of motivates me to do it a little more. I feel there will become a point where, I absolutely have to. Yeah, I'd always say that if I ever feel like I need to start playing a spacey, then I'm done with Melee. That's just too far for me. But chain grabbing, I could see it one day. Tech chasing, I'm starting to tech chase more already, so I'm getting better at it. So, I mean, we'll see. Only the time will tell.
Okay, what's your tech chase record right now? Do you know? I think last time I checked it was like 4.
In tournament, I think it's around 5, but. Well, on stream. In all stream matches, I have 0 to death tech chase people, and in friendlies. But it's harder to do it with the pressure when you're on stage, especially since I don't excel at it. But be on the lookout. Watch these VODs, guys.
Okay. Last question. There was a very formative moment for me in my Melee career, at Big House, NorCal versus Canada crew battles. You went in as the anchor for NorCal, and I'm from NorCal, so this meant a lot to me. And you played Kage in Sheik versus Ganondorf, which is supposed to be a very good matchup for Sheik by conventional wisdom. You got destroyed by Kage. You did not chain grab Kage at all. If you are up against Kage representing NorCal, can you promise me you'll chain grab him to 1?
I will promise to win. And yes, I will chain grab him next time. No mercy for the cannons. I've lost all my mercy.
All right. Thanks so much for the interview, Dewan. Any last shout-outs, words you want to say before we finish?
Shout outs to the IMT squad, you know, the homies, all our sponsors, all the fans, NorCal in particular, and the organizers of Shine. This tournament's great, and I'm excited to be here and excited to play.
Cool. Thanks. Thanks, Dewan. Here from Shine 2017, I'm Epengu with Shroomed. Follow Shroomed on social media at IMT_Shroomed. Is that right?
Twitter is just Shroomed08. Twitch, just Shroomed.
Okay. So I was totally wrong. Anyway.
Follow Immortals, immortals.gg.
Anyways, follow him. Thanks, guys. Stay tuned for more videos on this channel.